Hello and welcome to CCTV Channel 17. This is Alice Corner, and today we have a wonderful, amazing and wonderful guests. They will introduce themselves, but I wanted to take the time and wish Happy Martin Luther King Day to everyone celebrating around the world, because today is January 19. In Burlington, there were amazing events throughout since yesterday, and we cannot leave without thanking Martin Luther King for his work around the world and for justice and peace around the world. But today we are here to talk about one specific program of the Vermont Folklife Center called Gather Around, I believe, right? And for that we have distinguished guests, and we will allow them to introduce themselves. We'll start with you, and then we go with Kate.
Wonderful. Hi, everyone. I'm Mary Wesley. I'm the Director of Education and Media at Vermont Folklife.
Okay. Yep. Kate.
And thank you, Ali, for having us. My name is Kate Hoy, and I'm the Executive Director of Vermont Folklife.
Excellent. Wonderful. But, Vermont Folklife Center, is it a center?
Great question.
Yeah.
So we were founded in the 80s by folklorist Dr. Jane Beck, and she did a lot of wonderful things, including securing a building that Vermont Folklife was housed in for many, many years. And a year or two ago, after the pandemic, everything's changed. We decided to focus more on the fact that we're a statewide organization, and we do work with communities all over the state. And instead of expecting folks to come to us in Middlebury, which is where our center used to be, we decided to put all of our resources towards going to communities. And so we no longer are a center. Our name is officially Vermont Folklife. We do have offices in Burlington. Our archives still remain in Middlebury. But we're all over the state.
Excellent. Excellent. Guys, you heard, this has a lot of history in the state of Vermont. And these amazing and wonderful ladies, they brought it now, to the communities. And you still have administrative office, right, in Burlington?
Yes.
Yeah, in Chittenden County. So what do you guys do, the Vermont Folklife? What is your mission? What's your vision? What do you do?
Well, so many different things. Our mission at Vermont Folklife is to document and share everyday expressions of tradition, innovation, and culture. So, really cool. I would say first and foremost, we're interested in sort of the wonders of everyday life and the deep knowledge that every person holds, and what we can learn by sitting down to listen and talk to someone and just try to understand their perspective on the world. And we think anybody can do that, and it's valuable to do so.
No. Yep. That's great. That's great. Good mission. And basically, you holding on to the traditions of this cultural state, the Green Mountain State. All the culture is archived. It's somewhere, just like CCTV.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep. And the jewels, you know them? Professor at UVM and wife, beautiful, and doing great work also, helping the communities tell the stories, just like that. Do you guys collaborate with them, the Jewels?
We do, yeah. Miles Jewell, he and I actually started working at Vermont Folklife at the same time, basically, in 2015. Okay. I was the Director of Education at the time, and Miles Jewell, a fabulous documentarian, filmmaker, ethnographer, we hired him to be the media instructor. And so Miles and I would go all over the state working with educators and students, mostly in schools, to support them in doing community-based projects, learning about their town, learning about their neighbors, and creating media pieces to kind of showcase that learning. So yeah, we go way back. with Miles and now Alex. We're so happy that she's here in Burlington, and so we've actually collaborated on the project that we're going to talk about.
Exactly. So now, without further ado, let's talk about that project. It's called Gather Around, or what is the name of it?
Gather Round.
Gather Around. So what can you tell us with it? Who are your partners, external partners, other than the jewels? What is it and why right now in the state of Vermont?
Yeah, so I think first we might give a little bit of a history in some of the specific community-based work we've been doing at Vermont Folklife, and then that's kind of how we got to Gather Round. So it requires a story.
Exactly. That's all
to
we
be
want
able
to
to
hear.
introduce this program.
Tell us a story. Hey guys, have your popcorn and get ready.
So should I talk about? Yeah. So, people think Vermont Folklife, and sometimes, if you're not familiar with what we do, you might think kind of old-timey, back roads, farming, dairy cows, and that is, of course, part of Vermont's culture and what we are interested in. But basically, since the 80s, Vermont has also been a refugee resettlement state. And since that time, one, part of Vermont Folklife was to function kind of as the institution in this state that supports the cultural practices of all cultural communities in Vermont. When refugees and immigrant communities are resettled here, there are plenty of organizations dedicated to housing and education and healthcare and helping people just kind of figure out how to build a life here. And one thing that our predecessors at Vermont Folklife realized was not many people are paying attention to the cultural support that folks need when they get here. Mm-hmm. And over time, we've learned, and everybody experiencing this knows, that by supporting cultural practices, festivals, holidays, musical traditions, dance traditions, that really supports the well-being of the community itself and then the neighbors and everyone in Vermont. Mm-hmm. And so we've been running a program that is not the program we're here to talk about, called the Vermont Traditional Arts Apprenticeship Program, which is really the main avenue through which we've supported all sorts of cultural practices in Vermont. And we're really lucky at Vermont Folklife to have staff who bring special expertise. So Mary, for example, has a background in anthropology and audio producing, and is also, one of the preeminent dance callers, contra dance callers in the country, in the world. And so she's really deeply rooted in, the traditional New England folk dance music community. Mm-hmm. I have a background in ethnomusicology and early childhood music education. Our colleague Ian, who can't be here, has a background in early childhood education and also grew up in the kind of Franco-American world. Mm-hmm. So often we get asked by educators, community leaders, organizations to support them in, producing more culturally relevant programs. Programs that kind of reflect the cultural diversity of our state. Mm-hmm. And so we've been doing that for a long time. And I'll wrap up here in a second. Mm-hmm. One day I was visiting a local preschool and noticed that they were singing Baby Shark. Everybody probably knows Baby Shark.
Like, isn't it Baby Shark?
Baby Shark, do 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 do. Mama Shark, do.
Baby Shark.
Yep. So if you've been around the past 10 years, you probably have heard the Baby Shark. And they were singing it in a bunch of different languages. Ooh. To, reflect the cultural makeup of the class. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking, we could probably do better than just Baby Shark. Mm. We have an archive full of, the musical traditions that we've documented of the state. We know the cultural practitioners in our state. Mm-hmm. Let's talk to families. Let's talk to parents. Let's talk to kids. Document children's songs, lullabies, nursery rhymes, and create a program called Gather Round, which is both a curriculum that educators can use to reflect the cultural diversity of our state, and also music classes that we've put together. It's a whole bunch of different things. And it's supported. We were able to do all of this work in the past 6 months thanks to Building Bright Futures, which
Building Bright Futures
is an organization that you're familiar with.
Yes, yes. That's great. And through a grant?
Through a grant from the Vermont Early Childhood Fund.
Yep.
If you
VECF.
wanna say anything about.
And VECF is a grant program for Building Bright Futures. And in the past, they used to generate $100,000 to $150,000 and give it to communities for projects and programs and all of it. But we also received a big grant from the federal government, around $22 million, that would allow us to be able to increase VECF the past 3 years to be able to push out, let's say, $2 million in the past 3 years to the communities. And it just ended. It called the EB5. It just ended in December. But we were really glad to read your, let's say, application, right? It was very inspiring, and it also had a component of, let's say, combating social isolation, because your application was very well put. And yeah, we hear and to hear more about what you guys did with that money, and it's just beautiful, what I have seen. So the program is just for 1 year. How long was it? Yeah.
It was a short timeline. It was a 6-month timeline, July through December 25.
Okay. And you were able to talk to as many communities as possible. Tell me a little bit about those communities, or that you worked with.
Yeah, that's our favorite part of our work. So, as I said, a lot of our work is just based on learning from individuals, from people, and the wealth of knowledge that each person represents. For this program in particular, but really for all of our field work. When we're doing field work, that means we're getting out of our office. We're meeting people where they're living their everyday lives, either their homes, community centers, community events. And so we started to think about, well, who are some of the musicians that we know, that we have relationships with? Let's start there. So we interviewed our friend Migmar Sering, who's an amazing Tibetan musician. Has been here since 2011. We've supported him through our traditional arts apprenticeship program, but he's also become a friend. He's also on the Vermont Folklife Board, has taught, so many children and community members in the Tibetan American community here. Of course, knows so many songs for all ages. We reached out to community connections in the Bhutanese Nepali community. We put a call out to local music teachers, particularly in Burlington schools. That is just a hub where so many different communities are coming together. I think teachers have an amazing perspective on again, like the knowledge that students bring in from their families, from their different cultures. Our friend Betsy Nolan at Edmonds Middle School said, I have like 12 different languages that I hear in my classroom every day, and everybody wants to share their songs. So you start by just sort of putting feelers out, putting the words out, and then, if people are willing, and we're always so grateful when they are, we try to set up an interview, a time when we can really sit down and have, a longer conversation. Partly we were looking for songs or games, again, material that we could incorporate into the Gather Round curriculum, that we might make recordings of, so teachers could play something other than Baby Shark in the classroom. But we also, the interview component is really important, because, we don't just want a playlist of songs. We want to have a deeper understanding of both of what the songs mean to the people who sing them, and also kind of a key component to any program that we do at Vermont Folklife is we try to approach it collaboratively. So, you know, Kate observed this situation in the classroom and sort of had an idea about how to address, you know, can we have more multilingual resources? Well, again, turning to community knowledge, we want to hear what people think about that and see if we can incorporate their ideas and input into designing the program. We actually have a few interview clips. We could maybe, if you want to hear one from one of these interviews that we did.
Of course.
It's just audio, but it was an interview that Kate did with the Nirula family, an amazing family of musicians in Essex Junction, Vermont. And I believe the clip is actually with Isika Nirula, who is a teenager
now, yeah.
Again, has been part of our apprenticeship program, but she and her dad, Gopal, have been learning music together. Her younger sister, Ipsa, also plays music. So we talked to Isika about kind of the role of music and dance in her life, and also asked this question, what would have it been like to have Nepali music in your classroom as a multilingual learner? So if we want to hear the clip from Isika Nirula.
Isika Nirula's club, they will give us a thumbs up if they have it.
Hi, my name is Isika. I'm 15 years old. I was born in Nepal, and I stayed in Nepal for 3 years. And I had my 4th birthday here at America, and I'm really happy to have this opportunity to talk to you guys. I love dancing and singing, and I've never felt shy with either of them because it's like I want to show myself who I am, you know, and a big part of my life is music, and I love music, so it's a really great way to show myself. When I first came to America and I went to school, I got bullied because I didn't know how to speak English, and I would come home crying to mom because I was like, everyone's bullying me because I don't know how to speak English. And then I like really focused on how to speak that language, and I watched videos, and then I wanted to like redeem myself and show them that I can also speak English. And so I feel like that was a really good way of learning through those type of stuff. And bullying was like, you know, it wasn't really on my list when I came here because I thought that everyone was going to be nice and I was going to learn English really fast, but it took me some time. So I'm really proud that I know how to speak English now. Yeah.
I'm sorry about that.
No, it's fine.
If you had been, you know, when you first came here and you had gone to preschool or kindergarten and your teacher had incorporated, you know, Nepali songs, how would that have felt to you?
I feel like that would have felt great because I would be like, oh, that's also my culture that's being represented. And I feel like it's just a really nice feeling if other people that aren't Nepali like introduce Nepali music to other people.
Wow, that's such an amazing clip. Thank you so much for sharing. And it seems that, you know, this child, this kid, you immortalize his presence or her presence in the state of Vermont, because this is going to be archived somewhere, right? And also many people will be able to hear it and understand, because the clarity, he was bullied and all of it. I can't wait to listen to the integrality of your work. Amazing. Now, when you come together with the people, right, you do a pre-interview and then boom, there are the songs and all of it. But sometimes do you do it by group, like instead of one person by group? Can you talk about one of the groups?
Yeah, so I interviewed you, Ollie, as part of this project.
Yes.
And after that interview experience, you recommended that we get in touch with a group that had been meeting for almost a year, and that turned into a huge component of this project that we're really excited to share about today as well. Would you like to talk a bit about the
Yes, yes. And it's a group of women, yeah? Go ahead. Yep.
Yeah, so it's a group of mostly all women, many of whom are mothers, who, my understanding, you know, had pretty recently arrived in the United States, in Vermont, and Building Bright Futures and you and a woman named Alicia, who may join us, had recognized that they, could use a good amount of support, just kind of figuring out, like I said earlier, how to build a life here. And so you had been supporting them, Building Bright Futures had been supporting them, and kind of meeting monthly, or more than that, I'm not quite sure, once a month?
Twice a month, yep.
Twice a month.
Yep.
And so you graciously introduced us, and Alicia, kind of the facilitator of the group, invited Mary and me to go introduce the project. And pretty quickly, and this was the case with almost everybody we spoke with, the mothers, the women realized how important this project was. They're watching their children go to school, learn English, which is, great, but also starting to forget, the mother language they've learned from birth. And they're starting to be concerned that, their cultural heritage, their background is kind of being
Erased or something? Yep.
Yeah, and so the women's group was really excited to share songs from their childhood, songs that they sing to their children, and that's what we did, basically. We started meeting with the group, I think it was back in November, and women just started singing songs, telling us about what the songs meant to them. And then pretty quickly it was like, hey, we should probably get this group into the recording studio because they're fabulous singers and really excited to share. And so
that was a really exciting component for us that, again, the grant really allowed us to take the music recording component of this to the next level. We, do a lot of recording in the field. Again, we're sitting in the living room, we're on the kitchen table. That has a certain quality, but Burlington has many great sort of sound recording studios, an amazing musical scene, and we were really lucky to connect up with Joe Egan's studio in Fort Ethan Allen over in Colchester, and also The Tank, a block away from here, to make some, to really give these musicians their due in terms of making some really high quality recordings. Wow. And so we had a really wonderful session at The Tank at the end of 2025.
Excellent, excellent. And we also have Alicia join us. And before we leave here, we will be able to listen to at least the Zele Zele. I don't know what is it. But can you introduce yourself and talk about your involvement with the project? Yep.
So my name is Alicia Van Dijk, and how am I involved in this project? So it started as a women's group. I think I wanted a place where we can get together as people of color and just have fun, help each other, and somehow God connected us with these amazing people through Ali, and it was an amazing experience because I never thought about them singing, or we never had any session as singing. So I think it started as a place of gathering, and then it turned out to be what you guys saw. So it was an amazing experience as well. I had so much fun. I felt so happy the whole time, and it was just incredible.
Exactly. Well, and Alicia, you work for the school district too?
Yes.
You are
I do. I work for the school district as a multilingual liaison since 2018, but I also worked prior to that as a lunch lady. I think I always have been around people, and serving has been just my calling. I love it, and it just fulfilled me more than what I give. It's just what I receive from it has been incredible for me.
What a great story. Serving is a great thing that you give back to the community that accepted you and gave you a purpose and all of it. This is just amazing. And we were wondering if we can listen to the group of women, Zele. What is that, Alicia?
Jeleze.
Jeleze?
Jeleze.
That you guys are like experts. You see, you're correcting me now.
We sing that song around the office. I mean,
Really?
it's just the best.
Jeleze.
What does it mean? I hear them Zeleze and the country of my origin, something like that.
Yes, Jeleze means tell who you are, like
Introduction.
introduce yourself. Thank you. Yes, Jeleze means introduce yourself.
Okay. So when they ready, they will let us know so we can play it and listen to Jeleze.
Jeleze, jeleze, jeleze mama, jeleze na jeleza mama. Huyu niko hapa, jina langu Christine, nazaliwa Burundi, nakomalia Burundi. Jeleze mama, jeleze na jeleza mama.
Huyu niko hapa, jina langu Solange, nazaliwa Mukongo na kwa mali ya Nyaweke.
Jeleze mama, jeleze na jeleza mama. Huyu niko hapa, ninaitwa Lucia, nazaliwa Mukongo na kwa mali ya Tanzania. Jeleze mama, jeleze na jeleza mama.
Huyu niko hapa, jina langu Rebeka, nazaliwa Mkongo ndazekea Marekani.
Jeleze mama, jeleze na jeleza mama. Huyu niko hapa, jina langu Nadine, nazaliwa Mkongo na komali ya Bujumbura. Jeleze mama, jeleze na jeleza mama.
Huyu niko hapa, jina langu Chantale, nazaliwa Mkongo ndazekea Marekani.
Jeleze mama, jeleze na jeleza mama. Huyu niko hapa, jina langu Rebeka, nazaliwa Mkongo na komali ya Amerika. Jeleze mama,
Jeleze mama, Mikumbi Ali Jengo, Kobede Senegal. Yeah, I think that's what they do talking about. That's where I'm from. And I love how colorful it is. The way in which the traditional clothing, it was just so colorful, so beautiful. Yeah. But now, tell me, once you're done with all of this project, what's next with this specific group? Are you going to continue to work together? And also, where people can go to find all of these recordings and stuff? 2 questions right there.
Great question. Well, we did a lot of recording, we did a lot of interviews, and the generous funding from Building Bright Futures ended. And so I think Building Bright Futures and Vermont Folklife are interested in continuing to support this group in meeting. They're taking a little break for winter time because it's hard to get around.
Because of Alicia. It's Alicia's idea, but we wanted to go. But keep going.
I think the plan is to start meeting again in March. And we would love to, be able to continue supporting the women are really excited, I think, to continue with the singing and the dancing, but also maybe doing some embroidery, sewing projects. The list goes on in terms of what could happen.
So beautiful.
So I don't know if you want to say any more about kind of plans.
So from my Lee perspective, I guess it's my plan. No, it was not my plan. It was transportation. Thank you. So I think wintertime, it's not easy for us, you know. It's a new time and we're trying to figure it out, and the snow and the roads, and, you know, I think safety first. I'm so excited. I did not know.
Okay.
We are continuing in March. I'm
Yes.
just so happy to just get together with you guys and to see what they're gonna bring up. Did you know they can sing? Let's wait and see when we come up with other things if they won't teach us. So I'm so excited.
Great.
Yeah.
And, you know, so the collaboration is not only with BBF, but it's also with the Jewels. It's
Yep.
also with a couple of studios. It's also with Alicia and her group. What other partners? that we did?
AALV is
Oh,
also
Association African.
hosting the gatherings often. That's where the group has been meeting.
That's correct. Yes.
Yeah.
We also offered some family music classes to start to think about how to introduce, this material to families and teachers, and that was hosted by the One Arts Community Schools. So they have been great partners also in connecting us with families. We hope to create some professional development with them. And then in terms of accessing this material, that will be kind of the next stage of work to kind of go through all the interviews, go through all the recordings, hopefully get them up online somewhere. But the idea is that the resource will be accessible for free through Vermont Folklife's website and elsewhere. So
Excellent.
VermontFolklife.org.
Yes.
Check it out.
That's where people can go and find the archive of all of that. That's excellent. Yes. So now, how are the teachers going to access all of this? Like the care providers, what's the plan, and how can BBF support that as well?
So the big thing at this point is we're doing some more grant writing and fundraising so that we can continue that work of, because people don't realize, archiving, CCTV knows, it takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of people to process interviews and archive them correctly and then make them, accessible online. So that ultimately, hopefully we will have a website dedicated to this where people can go and access songs, access the context like we were talking about earlier around the songs, the curriculum, videos, but that is still in process and we are still fundraising to be able to do that work.
Of course. So when we come together, there is no issue that we can't solve. And with you guys, Alicia, BBF, the Jewels, I think we can create something unique and amazing. And also, do you know that there is this big documentary about Burlington, Who Are You, that the Jewels are doing? Are there opportunity to, merge? This is another part of Burlington, and here they are, and make a documentary about this work that you do, and Alicia. I think that's something that BBF is deeply thinking about, to tell you the truth.
Very exciting. We're always happy to collaborate with these folks and the Jewels.
Yep.
It's really fun.
Exactly. So I think we are 3 minutes away from the end of this program, and we were just wondering what are last words, why this is important, Alicia, to collaborate with these amazing ladies to create all of this from your perspective. Quickly, yeah.
So I think it's very important to understand that in Burlington we are very, very lucky to have people from all over the world. And certain times we hear about things among people, they don't like each other, or there is division. I won't use the word that's used. But I think diversity for me has been something that has uplifted me up, because in one culture, you're going to find something that my culture never gave me. But also in my culture, you're going to find something that can heal and make you have another perspective. And I think once you open up your horizon, your mind to things that we have here, you don't have to travel, Some people have to travel and spend money, but we have everything here. So I think it has been, for me, a way of leaning in what I have and what I see and figuring out what I need and use what I have right here beside me, going far away. And we have all these cultures and these peoples, and it's just incredible that we're getting this opportunity to call them and be with each other. Because the more we laugh, laughter is medication, it's medicine. So the more we laugh, the better we're going to be. And as moms, me, I'm a mother, I have 2 children. I think the healthier I am, the healthier my children are, but also my city is going to be healthier for how I feel. So
basically, diversity is a gift, diversity is our future, and also it's important to support newcomers, to combat isolation
Yes.
and increase social connectedness and in collaboration with community members. Is there anything important that you should share that I did not ask? Or anything, a word you want to say goodbye
Just
to?
thank you so much for the opportunity to collaborate and talk about this today. We're so grateful to be able to do this work. It's the best.
So, yes. Mary, yeah?
I couldn't have said it better than Alicia. Yeah, this is just the best place to live and the best collaborators.
Yeah. So the biggest winner are you Burlingtonians, and we also wanted to say thank you so much to CCTV. This was Alice Corner, and today it was about gather around a great and wonderful, as you can see, people are gathering around to sing. Oh, this is so beautiful, all right? Thank you, and we will give you another rendezvous next month, and I think this time we'll be having people from the Burlington School District to talk about the budget, to talk about DEI, etc., etc. Thank you all so much, and see you next month. Thank you.
Lala mtoto lala, 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 siku mekaribia mtoto, lala ukwe vizuri mtoto, lala uwe na afya mtoto, lala mtoto lala, lala mtoto lala.